Well, I just want to first welcome everybody to our webinar. Thank you for attending, and hopefully we educate you a little bit about QP, our product lines, and what makes working with QP different. My name is Kevin Brown. I am the QP and VP and General Manager of QP Hydraulics Global. I have worked for Prince Industries, our mothership, for 24 years, and I have worked with QP since 2006. I do have Matt Ogden available, who is our sales engineer. Matt?
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Good morning and welcome. As Kevin said, I'm Matt Ogden. I'm the sales engineer. I'll be your main point of contact traditionally when you have inquiries or you have requesting any technical specifications. I typically will review product scopes that are sent into us and get you into the right product specifications. So I'm kind of the cradle to grave guy for QP Hydraulics.
All right. We'll get started with QP at a glance. Who are we? Where did we come from? We were established as part of Prince Industries in 2006, but Prince was established in 1959. They really are one of those companies that started in a garage in downtown Chicago and just built out. We are not the Prince Industries or the Prince Manufacturing or the Prince Cylinders in the Dakotas, just to get that out of the way. We do have, QP has two locations, one in Carroll Stream, Illinois, and one in Shanghai, China, both of which we share with our machining division. All Prince facilities are ISO 9001-2015 certified. We're going to talk to you about 4 different product lines today: our hydraulic and electronic joysticks and foot pedals, our low mass check valves, and some application specific solutions. And we service lots of industries. We're about a $75 million company from the Prince side with about 400 employees, and QP and Prince services quite a few industries, most of which I'm sure you guys service as well. We leverage our machining, and really QP was built on the back or on the foundation of our machining and sheet metal fabrication capabilities. And now we produce our own products. So we're pretty proud of those. And let's get into understanding a little bit more about it. Prince, just to give you a quick overview, is comprised of 4 divisions in 4 locations. Our headquarters is in Carroll Stream, which houses both our machining division and QP Hydraulics. Our Batavia, Illinois division or facility houses our sheet metal fabrication division. Our Shanghai, China facility houses machining and QP. And then we have our aerospace division in Titusville, Florida. Our credibility slide. This is just there to let you know that we do service an industry. We have several customers, and we traditionally have serviced the Asian market. Sony and Zoomline are some of our largest customers. However, that big yellow guy in the middle there, Cat, is where we got everything started back in the late 90s. We started with them making hydraulic pilot valves, and then over the years created our own hydraulic pilot valve, which you'll get to hear about here in a few minutes, and then really launched that product line and the QP brand in Asia while servicing CAT and some other customers in the North American market. Over the past few years, we've wanted to bring that expertise that we have learned over the years back to the North American market, and we've done that through OEMs and distributors. And really, Matt has done that with his excessive experience in the market. Matt, you want to say a little bit about our expansion into North America?
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Kevin. We've been currently working with several key distributors and OEMs. We're really looking to grow the distribution market. We see that as a key growth opportunity for QP Hydraulics.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. And we're going to grow with what we're here to talk about. We're going to organize our presentation today around 4 product lines, which you can see up there on the screen: hydraulic and electronic joysticks and foot pedals, check valves, and some application-specific solutions. We're going to talk about both standard product and customizable product. We talk a lot about Legos in our presentation because We set our products up as really similar to Legos, where we can put different pieces together in different ways and get a solution for you, the customer. And hopefully that solution is easy to get to and understandable by you. I'm going to start with our hydraulic joysticks and foot pedals. This is where we got our start. Over 20 years ago, we started working with CAT on their CAT design joysticks. And it really gave us an education into understanding not only hydraulic joysticks, but hydraulics and the manufacturing around that. We were fortunate enough to work with them and came up with a design on our own, which we used to call our JS446, which I will be referencing as our JSH. And we brought that and several other products to the Asian market, and it really took off. Once we brought that to the Asian market, we realized there was a lot of other products that we needed to expand into, and our raw JS446 it was easy to expand into those markets. That was single axis joysticks. So we have our SLH, which is our stackable version of our single axis joystick. We have stacked up to 10 different stacks. So if you want a 10 stack joystick, come see us. We also have a thin single lever. That thin single lever is only 22 millimeters in thickness. Works really well for that small bulldozer blade at the bottom of a mini excavator. And then we have our dual axis configurations, our JSH, which I spoke about, and then its sister valve, our JSC, which is a compact valve. The difference between those two is just flow or max flow. JSH can do about 25 liters, a little bit more actually, and the JSC can do around 15 liters a minute. Our foot pedals also were spawned off of our JS446, and that became our FP6 and our FP8. The difference between our FP6 and FP8 is, again, just flow and size. So FP6 is more of a compact foot pedal, and our FP8 is a larger one. Max flow on our FP8 is 30 liters. We have custom configurations for all of these. And when it comes to handle options, that's where everybody likes to customize, and we can help you there. We also have a stocking program. Our stocking program, we say, ships weeks and not months or days, and then we have a make to order. Real quick, I'll go over that stocking program in big, bold letters. Hydraulic joysticks in weeks, not months. In fact, we have 1,000 joysticks on hand right now. They're detailed on our website, so you can see which configurations we have, that we can get you in days, not weeks or months, but days. 2 to 5, 3 to 5 days, just depending on which one it is and how many you want. So be sure to go to qphydraulics.com and look up our hydraulic joystick stocking program to see what we have to offer there. Now, to go in more in depth on our hydraulic joystick, our spec page, it looks very similar to everybody else's or all our competitors. So we have max flow I talked about on our joysticks up to 25 liters a minute, on our foot pedals up to 30 liters a minute. Our working pressure is standard to 40 bar. Max operating pressure is 100 bar. Where we start getting different, or it sets us apart, is in our variety of curve kits. And our variety of curve kits are available in any direction. What does that mean? Well, if you need a 5 to 20 in 4, and you need a 1 to 12 in 4.5, and then different in right and left, we can do that for you. Is that common? No, but we can do it for you. What's common is, a different effort or a different curve kit in forward aft. That's different from right left. That's very common, and we can do that very easily. Is it a cost adder? It really isn't. Our curve kits are very easy to add or subtract to a joystick, both now and later. And that's true in both our joysticks, whether they're dual axis joysticks or single axis joysticks. Let's see. Our detents we can add detents to anything, a mechanical, electromagnetic, or friction hold. We have a forewarning, an exclusive patented forewarning bumper, and that just gives you that little bit of extra effort at the end of stroke just in case, there's a float coming after that, or you need it for some other function that you're controlling. And our handles can also give haptic feedback. We like to talk about body type here because we do have a standard aluminum body for the majority of our product. But for those of you in the mining industry or selling into the mining industry, we can use steel or create or make steel or offer steel. With that, I think we're going to go into a question at our first break and our first question and answer session. Eric?
Yes. Thank you for the handoff there. We have a couple that come in. A reminder that you can submit questions either through the chat or through Q&A, and we will get to them. But since we are breaking this up into pretty much 4 equal parts, we're just going to have Q&As after each section. If you have any questions about hydraulic joysticks and foot pedals, now's a good time to ask them. If you think something after, we'll answer them at the end as well. But I got a few here. Can you stack an SLT hydraulic joystick?
SLT, unfortunately, no. An SLT is our thinnest joystick, and that means that we're using all of that space to get it into a small space. So we do not stack the SLT. Great question, though.
Okay, all right. Can I stack a single axis joystick next to a dual axis joystick?
Yeah, and that's fairly common, especially in wheel loaders, where they'll have a dual axis joystick and then a single axis joystick to operate a pin or I don't know, something else on the rear of the tractor or on the front of the tractor. Definitely. Yep. In fact, we've done a dual axis joystick with 2 single axis if needed.
Okay. All right. Can I get any type of handle on my SLH?
We have a bunch of handle options on the website, but I would say we have a fairly good a variety of handles. The great thing is that if you have a handle that you want to work with, we'll use that handle as well. We're not strapped down to our own handles, but if you have something you want to bring on board, we're more than happy to put it on our joystick.
Okay, all right. We got one more here, unless any more come in the next second or two. Can you modify the mounting plate if I have a special opening?
Oh, great question. Yeah, we definitely can modify any mounting plate. In fact, pretty much all of our mounting plates. We do have a standard, but all of our mounting plates are custom to our customers.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got no more questions for right now. I'll be back in a couple minutes after you talk about the electronic joysticks and foot pedals.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. All right. So this is where I talk about how, it's great to work with QP. And one of the reasons it's great to work with QP is because we've been doing hydraulic joysticks, like I said, for over 20 years, really. And during that time, we've been able to talk to a lot of operators, understanding what our benefits. I think I missed some of our benefits on our hydraulic joysticks, but we have low efforts. And what do low efforts mean? It means that it's easy for that operator to operate the joystick over 8 or 10 hours a day. Makes them a lot less tired at the end of the day. We also learned about from our operators how the joystick feels and where those bumpers are supposed to be and what makes them really understand what the implement in front of them is doing. That's that feel, that experience that you get from operating the joystick and getting that feedback back onto your hand. Understanding all of those little idiosyncrasies of joysticks, we started to design our electronic joystick. And one of the things we wanted to do was reduce the cost of the electronic joystick while keeping the same feel and function for that operator. We did that in 2 ways. First off, everything that you see that's above the mounting plate is common to our hydraulic joysticks. Everything. Lever assemblies, springs, actuators, everything that's in our hydraulic joystick above this mounting plate is similar on our electronic joystick. Hydraulic joystick electronic joystick. Above the mounting plate, it's all the same. It's the same with our foot pedals. Everything above the mounting plate is the same on our foot pedals for our hydraulic joysticks or our electronic joysticks. So that does what? That gives you that volume of scale discount, right? That we've been producing these components for 20 some odd years, and we understand how to make them. They're robust. They're not going to break on you. They're right there in our hydraulic joystick and our electronic joystick. The rest of it is where we got our patents. So we have 3 patents below the joystick that covers our electronic signals. How do we get those signals out to your machine? How do we control things? That's all in our patents. The patented technology, it's really unique. It's not out there anywhere else. But what that patent technology allows us to do is offer single, dual, and foot pedal configurations, the same that we offer for our hydraulic joysticks. It allows, again, custom efforts. So we talked about custom efforts for our hydraulic joysticks. You can get those custom efforts in any direction. You can get those custom efforts on the electronic joysticks as well, in any direction. We also have inventory programs and make-to-order programs for our electronic joysticks. Our spec sheet looks very similar to other customer or other competitor spec sheets. We have supply voltage, 9 to 36 volt continuous. We have a max current consumption of 20 milliamps. We have an analog option, 0 to 5 max, with a check signal up to 2.5 volts. We have CAN bus, CAN open, or custom CAN, which some of our customers have a custom CAN that we have to program, and that's fine too. What sets us apart is our inputs. We have a total of 19 available digital inputs, and if you sacrifice 5 of those, you can get up to 5 analog inputs as well. So you could get 5 analog and 14 digital. Really can make those those handles with lots of buttons and lots of switches if you need to. We have a variety of efforts available in each direction. Like I said before, in each direction. So if you need to change anything in any direction, we can do that for you. Along with our hydraulic joysticks, we have detents available, mechanical, electromagnetic, friction hold, all of the same options for our hydraulic joysticks as our electronic joysticks. Forewarning bumpers are there as well. So basically what I'm trying to say is all of the options for our electronic joysticks are the same as our hydraulic joysticks. With that, I'm going to break and see if we have any questions, Eric.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes, we do. We have just a few here. Again, you have a question, now's a good time to ask it, either in chat or in the Q&A. Oh, I got a pretty big truck going past here. I don't know if you could hear that or not. All right, so first one is, how do you protect the electronics in the base?
Great question. We, through our electronic design and it's all in grounding, right? So our electronic design and the grounding that we have on the board, we have been tested. We're not CE certified yet, but we have tested everything to CE certification. So from EMF or any kind of shock that base may see, it's very electronically stable, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. Again, it's all done electronically. That's about where I can go through it.
Okay. All right, we have another question about stacking, but this one obviously is a little different. Could I have a hydraulic joystick stacked next to an electronic one?
Sure. There's nothing stopping us. We just change mounting plates so that the electronic joystick and the hydraulic joystick share the same mounting plate. Sure, that'd be easy.
Okay. Just out of curiosity for me, what would be the advantage of having those two next to each other?
It's a great question. We have one with one of our Asian customers that they want 4 aft to be hydraulic and right left to be electronic, and that's one steering and one's go and slow. So I don't know what the benefit is to them, but they asked for it and we gave it to them.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have for right now. Again, I'll be coming back to you after check valves. So if you have any questions or think of anything during the check valve portion, post it in chat or Q&A.
All right. So Legos, we talked about Legos before. This is another one of our Legos, and it works like Legos as well. We have low mass engineered check valves. First off, you might ask, why are you engineering a check valve? It's a ball on a spring. Yes, it's a ball on a spring. At least that's the schematic, right? If you talk about or kind of dive into that ball on the spring, you have a sphere, and the benefit of that sphere is that it's going to seal in any direction on the seat, and that's great. The disadvantage of that ball is you have all of that mass on that ball, and it's always there. And when it opens, you get a spike, and everybody gets a first order spike when you're opening your check valve. The thing with the ball is it comes back really quickly with the spring behind it and all of that inertia, and it bounces off the seat and it gives you a second order spike. And then of course it'll settle down, making a lot of noise as it does it, but it'll settle down. That's the other thing about a ball check. We all for 25 years I've been in hydraulics, you know, ball checks equal noise. We always have the noise on the check valves. And the reason, like I said, it's a bouncing check, whether it's a ball on a hardened seat or a poppet on a hardened seat, they're going to bounce because that's what they do. We saw that as a problem that needed a solution, and we came up with what we call our low mass check valves. We have two different designs. One's called a disc style and one's a poppet style. That low mass means to you less system instability. You're not going to hear noise. It's going to be less heat, way less pressure drop, and again, less noise. Our check valves come, whether it's disc or poppet, in many standard fittings and connection options, both high and low pressure, and virtually leak free. I'm going to go to our spec page. Again, our spec page looks very similar to everybody else's. It's operating pressure 6,000 PSI. We are max flow is size dependent. And our cracking pressures, it's kind of funny. We don't really have any standard cracking pressures, but we have standard cracking pressures. So if you want 1, 5, 15, 43, 65, or any other cracking pressure up to about 12 bar or 170 PSI, ask. We have most likely already done it or have a valve in production that has it. Very, very flexible design. Again, Legos, just put a different spring in, put a different poppet in, put it in a different configuration, and we can get something that is a solution for you. Disc check, where would you want to use a disc check? Well, if I go back to the previous slide, you saw this disc check is actually being inserted into an ORF style fitting. That's exactly what it can do. You can buy the insertable version of the disc check, use it as a service item. You have two valves that are talking to each other on a piece of equipment, and you need to put a check valve in between. Instead of cutting a hose and finding a place to put a manifold or an inline check, you can just crack a hose, put an insert in there, and before you know it, everything's quieted down because you have a nice check valve in between. Our leakage, as I said before, it's 1 cc at 2,500 PSI. We have several mounting examples. These are just a few mounting examples of what we have done in the past. And you can see here, this is just standard inline. This is our poppet style. You can see why we have less mass. A, we use aluminum, and B, we cut out all that mass from the inside. Yes, this is a 6,000 PSI check. This is a close-up of our insert check, and this is just an example of one of the manifolds that we've designed with our poppet check inside. What's exciting is we have a cartridge design coming soon. So all the benefits of our poppet is going to be in a -10 cartridge very soon. And when I mean very soon, hopefully we're targeting the summer that we'll be able to offer this to the market. It's going to have a max operating pressure of 6,000 PSI. It's going to be in -10 first, and we're working on the -8 right behind it. So cavities, we're going to stick with the standard dash first, and then we'll get into the specialty cavities. Max flow on this -10 is 20 gallons a minute at 150 PSI. Standard, this one we are going to stick with standard cracking pressures for the immediate, and then go to customs later. So we're going to offer it at 5, 15, 43, 60, 65, and 90. Leakage is going to be the same as our standard poppet style 1 cc at 2500 psi. And the nice thing, and what sets this one apart, is the porting is 1 to 2, or nose to side, or side to nose. So the side to nose is going to look almost exactly, well, it's going to look exactly like the nose to side. Nice thing about our design is you can just flip that poppet around on the inside and you have a different cartridge. With that, I will ask if there are any questions and take a small break.
All right. Well, I'm not going to give you too much of a break because we do have a few questions here. Why, somebody wanted you to go over why choosing a poppet over a disc check.
Great question. We only have 2 sizes of disc checks, so you're going to either get a 16 or a 12. So disc check and poppet from a pressure drop situation or a high pressure or low pressure situation is very similar. We have a patent on that disc check, so we can pretty much do whatever we want with it. The poppet check is quieter. I will say that it's quieter and it's more damped. It has a little bit better pressure drop than the disc check, and sometimes it's more flexible. That poppet can be flipped around in multiple directions, and the cavity is very, very simple if we want to design a manifold with it. The difference is one's steel and one's aluminum. However, they both can do high pressure. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, I believe so. See, so this is actually an interesting one. You currently have a stocking program for joysticks. Are you looking to create a stocking program for check valves?
That's been brought up several times. It's just a matter of figuring out what the market really needs in the sizes that they need. Matt, I believe you are working on that. And
Yes, sir.
I don't know if we have any time frame that we're looking at a stocking program for check valves.
Well, currently we're looking at doing a little bit more of data mining just to make sure that we're putting the right products out there
Okay.
that the customers may need.
Any other questions, Eric?
Let's see. One more. What is the largest disc check that you can make?
Right now, we're working on a -32 size, and we could make them bigger. It's just a matter of design FEA, doing some engineering around it and seeing what kind of flows and pressures it needs to hold up to. So right now 32, but sky's the limit for the disc checks. And really the benefit of the disc check is it's really not limited in size.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think that everybody like me is looking forward to hearing more about custom solutions. So I'm just going to pass it back to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Mhm.
All right. So application specific solutions. Everything that I've been talking about so far really was an application specific solution at one time. Our customers come to us with problems and we do our best to solve those using our Lego kits or our different solutions that we can offer them in different configurations. And that's why this slide says much of what we sell is a customized solution, because it really is. Our customers, many of you know that if you ask us a question, we usually can answer it with I think we could do that, or we've done that before. It's just a little bit different, right? Case in point, just a small example of what we've done recently. We have a machine shop at our disposal, both in the US and China. At any time, we can make a custom manifold. So we had a customer come to us asking for a custom manifold and asking if we could put our SLH or our single lever joysticks in it, along with some of our shuttle valves, along with some of their, who they specify, valves. And, it was a matter of coming together, understanding what the schematic looked like. They had an idea of what they wanted the manifold to look like. So we put our solution together with their solution and came up with a solution that is set to deliver here any day now, and is really an interesting combination of almost all of our technologies in one. That's just one solution recent. Matt, I think you have one as well, right?
Yeah, I do, Kevin. And we had a customer come to us that was buying a foot pedal, and they were having some difficulties with supply chain issues. Um, Background on the application, it was going into a cab that was already ROPS and FOPS certified. So we really couldn't change any mounting holes, couldn't do anything really too terribly crazy, but we did have some design latitude within that. The customer was buying an off-the-shelf product, and during the discussion, he indicated that they're buying the off-the-shelf product. They have to cut it, re-weld it. It just was a total headache for them. They have a difficulty mounting it in their existing cab. So we just said, hey, hasn't anyone ever asked you to make those modifications and supply you a completed product? He said, no one's ever asked him or had ever proposed that to him. And he was just completely surprised that we would stop and not just try selling him an off-the-shelf product, but to give him a custom solution. And that just is kind of the way that we operate. We want to be that partner for you and give you exactly what you need, not just what's available off the shelf.
Yeah, that's awesome, Matt. That's a really good point that you made. We aren't a catalog supplier. We don't have, we have a catalog, a bunch of brochures, but we don't hold our customers to what we have currently in stock or in our catalog. If you need something different, we'll put our Legos together differently and get them to you the way that you need them, whether that's a custom joystick, foot pedal, manifold, valve, clutch control, whatever you need. We'll try to, now we have our limits, but we'll try to design a solution for you. So based on that, do we have any questions, Eric?
Sorry, got to turn that back on. Yes, we do. And again, everybody, this is pretty much the last, well, not the last chance to ask questions. You can always contact these guys via the website. But if you have any questions that you'd like to ask now during the webinar, this is the last time you're going to have a chance to do that. So for the first one, we've got, what information do I need to provide you for a custom application?
Great question. We're going to go over that in a little bit. Actually, right after this Q&A, Matt's going to go over our website and how to actually create a custom product code. So I think I'm going to save that answer for the product code area.
Okay. Some of these might be answered. Can we supply components for our own custom application?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. We call that customer supplied material. Yeah, we just work with you on the needs for the solution, and you definitely can.
Okay. All right. And one more. Do you warranty all components if they are customer provided and installed by QP?
Customer components, we would ask you to warranty those. We will warranty the assembly and test of such products, but the product themselves would have to be warranted by either the manufacturer or you if you're a distributor or whatever.
All right. Well, I guess now it's a good time to turn it over to Matt to talk about the website.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. So within the recent year, we've completely renovated or redesigned our website, including a product code configurator for not only our hydraulic joysticks and foot pedals, our electronic joysticks, working on the foot pedals configurator, but also our check valves. And the kind of the reason we've done this is that a lot of the questions or a lot of the customers that were coming to us were saying, hey, we basically know what we want, but we just need to know what type of a part number we need to supply to you, or how do we supply this information to you in order to start the quotation process or design process. So we've come up with, and I highly encourage everyone to go visit our website, because there's a lot of information that we may not have covered in depth yet, but there's a lot of information on our website, and it probably will answer a lot of your questions. But like, for example, the JSE here, as you walk through, it gives you the opportunity to select a character for each of those particular boxes where there's an X. And if there's something that's not currently listed, you can just put an X in that particular spot. And then we just request that when you submit in the RFQ to us, that you explain out what that X may be. For example, if you have a custom curve kit that's not listed on our website, you just put an X and tell us, hey, we want a 5 to 20 bar in fore and after, or in positions 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, and we want a 4 to 19 in 2 and 4. It's just that simple. And actually at the bottom of if you go to our website, on the bottom of this product code configuration page, there is a submit my code. And when you click that, it'll take you to another screen where it'll take your code that you created and the information you put. You supply your information, some other product or project information. And when you submit it to us, it'll be forwarded along to myself and to Kevin and the team that's going to work on your particular project. And we can start working on it really quick. I think that if you visited our old website and our new website, I think there's a night and day difference between the two. And we're also looking to continually improve on our website and the products or the information that we're supplying out there. So I would highly encourage, if you're visiting it today for the first time, visit it in a month, in 6 weeks. It'll probably look a little different. There'll be probably some more content that's added, but we just just can't encourage you enough to continually visit our website because it probably will help you out with a lot of the questions that you have. So many of you are probably, at the end of this, why partner with QP? If we haven't given you enough compelling reasons, hopefully we can close it out with this. I believe that we've touched base on it, how we're a custom supplier. While we do have some standard catalog products, we want our customers to know that we will provide custom solutions. We want to be a true partner, not just a provider of products to you. And that's, we believe, pays dividends, because when you have a custom solution, you're looking for somebody who can supply it to you. I think that as you work with us, you'll see that we're going to be that supplier that can help you out. We believe that we spend a little bit more time getting to know the project, so we'll get you the right product for you. Again, we're not just going to say, hey, this is close enough off the shelf, this is what we're going to sell to you, and you have to make these concessions or these modifications. We really, again, want to go, what is it that you need? Here's a blank sheet of paper. What is it that you want? And based off of that, that's, again, we can start stacking our Legos to give you a custom engineered product. But you're not going to be, the nice thing is you're not going to see that custom engineered product price tag along with it. Because a lot of what we do, we've scaled it so it's customizable, but it's very economical too. And with the bureaucracy, I would say there really is none. I mean, Kevin and myself are typically, I wouldn't say myself, Kevin's typically the decision maker. So if you present a project to me, I'm going to review it. I may have to have a business case solution or a business case meeting with Kevin to see if it's something we can provide. It's just that quick. And we're traditionally trying to respond back to our customers. They send in an RFQ within 24 to 48 hours. With the initial response, there may be some follow-up discussion that we have to have, like, hey, can you clarify this particular aspect of the project? Or we may say, hey, typically I'll fire back, I've got enough information. I should have a quotation to you, in the next 24, 48 hours. So that's kind of the expectation. We've had several of our customers come back to us and say, hey, we're not even ready to give you that information because you guys reacted so quickly. We're typically looking to, that people are responding back to us in 4 to 6 weeks, and we're getting back to them in days. So, I mean, it's just it's just a positive compliment that we're getting from our customers, and finally, I would say that, we truly believe that QP as a whole, we're the type of company that the contributions that we can help and we can offer to your company, they really do make a difference, not only in the satisfaction you guys will have, the speed to market, but also that it's not going to break the bank when you're dealing with us. I think that if you rate everything together, whether it's, the quality, the delivery, the technical support, price aspect, I think, you'd see that we rate very high in each of those categories.
Thanks, Matt. That was awesome. With that, I think there's a thank you to you guys out there watching, and thank you to Eric. And if there's any other questions, we definitely have a few more minutes that Matt or I could answer any question, or you could take a quick screenshot of the names here on the screen. Myself, Matt, and Mark Wooten is the VP Sales and Marketing. That's who Matt reports to. Eric, has there been any other questions come up?
There is one more, and just a final reminder to people, if you do want to ask a question, just pop it into Q&A or the chat, and we will get to them right now. So this was about check valves. What quantities do I need to get a quote for a check valve?
Ask. We obviously we'd like to sell more than less, but 25, 12, I think 12 is about the lowest that we will quote. But I mean, if you have prototypes that you need, we can do 1 to 5, no problem. But Matt, 12 to 25 is probably what we've been seeing most, right?
Yeah. Typically, we would like to see 25. Yeah, we've gone down to 12, but it really is application specific.
Yeah,
it's the best way I put it. And and the prototypes, they are typically going to be reflective of the smaller quantities. Right. But again, at that point, if we're trying to get you a product as quickly as possible, we'll give you solutions, but that's going to be a part of the discovery call that we're going to have with you of, hey, what exactly do you need? How fast do you need it? What are the expectations? And then we can design a lot of not only the product, but how we're going to respond to you based off of your expectations.
There you go.
Yeah. Is there like an average time going from prototype to, not from prototype, from discussion to prototype? Is there like a certain amount of time that usually takes, or is it case by case?
It's really case by case. I mean, if we have, it all goes back to the Lego pieces. If we have the Lego pieces together in stock, basically, we can just put everything together and send you a proto. That's very easy. If we have to, for instance, if we're talking about an inline check valve, if you want a 16 ORF to a 16 store, or a 16 O-ring face seal to a 16 boss, and you need, a 5-bar cracking pressure, and whatever your flows are, that would be pretty easy. We probably only have to design a spring. Maybe we might have a spring in stock, and we could get that off to you in a week, 2 weeks, maybe. If we had to design a new manifold, that's going to take a little bit longer. So it really is dependent on the Lego pieces we have in stock.
And I'd like to add to that, Kevin, if we're talking about a joystick, that's where our MTO, our stocking program, comes in. It was specifically designed, especially the MTO. When we look at it, we've got all the necessary Legos in stock, and it's just pretty much a pick and play or a pick and assembly. The only time that we get a little bit of a delay on that is if there's a custom handle that we don't have either a current source to get, or it may be a customer supplied handle. So we really have to evaluate that. But again, one thing that we should touch base on as well, or we should kind of make sure that we're letting people know, is that we can supply the joysticks, the pilot valves, without the actual handle or stem on them. We can just do just the hydraulic base if you need that, and then you can install your own handle.
Yep, base, boot, mounting plate if you want, or just base and mounting plate, no boot or boot hardware, and the attachment to the handle, well, we'd have to talk about, but that's really easy stuff.
All right. Well, that's everything that I've got here. Matt and Kevin, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with everyone today. And for all those in the audience, thank you for attending. You can find out more about QP by visiting qphydraulics.com, or like Kevin said, screenshot this and email Kevin, Matt, or Mark, who isn't here today, directly.